people who belong as far apart from each other as humanly possible, but they're in love. We were high school sweethearts. We were high school sweethearts back when high school sweethearts were way too shy, awkward, and inexperienced to actually do anything about being high school sweethearts, but we were in love. The kind of love we had wasn't smart. We were into each other's brains. It wasn't the sort of spiritual love you think of when two people just can't bear to be apart. I wanted nothing to do with her soul. It wasn't even emotional, because while our hearts did pound, each pining for the other, it wasn't our feelings that drew us together. What we had was something that no teenager can resist, and many have tried. What we had was chemical. And that was about all we had. We were destined otherwise to be miserable with each other, because that was what pop culture had taught us to expect. For instance, the radio told us love is a battlefield and every road has its thorn. We spun each other right round, like a weapon. Did she really want to hurt me? No. But our love was tainted. We were addicted to love. It didn't mean we turned each other on, but we were straight up determined that if we just didn't stop believing, then sooner or later we'd be walking on sunshine. At least until it totally cleanses the heart. And we were never going to give each other up. Never going to let each other down. And never desert each other. At least that was what we thought. We were convinced that given time, our other incompatible traits would simply give way and give in to our chemical compatibility, because we were not old enough yet to know that John Hughes films do not reflect real life. So we dated and broke up, and dated again, broke up, dated again, and so on. And each time our minds, hearts, and souls screamed at us not to do it, but our bodies couldn't hear. Like a rubber band stretched a little longer each time we came back together, a little bit harder. And I should point out that although we dated, we never actually got around to consummating the dating. And I think this was mostly because we could just never stay together long enough to do it. Our relationship never actually ended in a traditional sense either. It just became like, well, the nearest I can describe it is there's a cable-stayed bridge over Hiawatha, where every time I go by, I look at that and my first thought is, when are they going to finish that thing? And then I realize, yeah, it's supposed to look like that. Over time, we each became each other's significant what if. What if we had done it? Would it have worked then? What if we shifted our expectations, or would that have been settled? What if this or that? What if A or B? What if zig or zag? And they say you never really forget your first true love, especially when she looks you up every couple of years and wants to talk about that last time you should have zagged. Now, the last time we met for drinks and the usual pleasantries were exchanged. We hugged a little too long and gazed a little too wistfully into each other's eyes and talked over the good times we had and laughed nervously about the bad ones before quickly changing the subject. And it seemed like this might finally be our time to zag. And when I got that feeling, I looked her in the eye and I told her, there's something we have to do before this goes any further. In fact, it's something we should have done a long time ago. We, both of us, right now, need to just accept that there are parallel quantum reality versions of us that never had these problems. Somewhere out there, at time, there were two of us who got it right from the start. Those two alternate universe versions probably done all kinds of things we never got to do. Maybe they were king and queen of the prom and they went to great schools and had dream careers. And maybe right now they're raising beautiful kids that are no doubt poised for their own great similar successes. And being that it's an alternate universe, sure they all have goatees, but that's a small price to pay. So I told her, let's drink to the mirror universe for showing us what we're capable of. And we did. We drank a lot. In fact, it's safe to say that soon after that we were without our inhibitions. And it was then, toward the end of the night, that she leaned close to me and took my hand in hers and confessed that she'd never stopped loving me. And I took that cue and I took her hand back and I leaned into her.
No, please, no!
What? What's the matter?
Do we have to hear the kissing part?
You might not mind so much.
Turn to the grave with